Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back. Lord Hazen here, and today we're going to have a look between the Samsung Galaxy A30 and the Samsung Galaxy A50. Now, as you all know, the A series of Samsung phones was launched this year to replace the J series, and I must say Samsung have again established themselves in the mid-range market with the A series. While these two have a comparable price, they still have the same screen size, the same battery capacity, the same software, and they use the same user interface. So in this video, I'll be showing you what specs differentiate them, and we'll also see what features put the bigger brother at 26,999 and the smaller Galaxy A30 to retail at 20,499 bob. So without further ado, let's get started. So first up, let's talk about body dimensions. Now, both phones have a similar type of body, similar thickness, a glass tick back, and the similar button placement. You get the camera modules and the LED flashes at the back of both phones. The only noticeable difference on the back will be the presence of the traditional fingerprint scanner on the Samsung Galaxy A30. You get similar arrangements at the bottom where you have a mono speaker, a microphone, a USB Type-C port, and a headphone jack. The power buttons and volume rockers are also placed similarly. You get a 6.4-inch 1080p screen on both phones with Samsung's Infinity U notch at the top to house the front-facing camera. And just to put it in perspective of how these phones share a similar form factor, you can swap the silicone cases the phones came with and they actually fit perfectly. The only disparity will come with the fingerprint punch-out that's missing on the A50 and the camera cutout that's a bit larger on the A30. Now, moving on to security features. Now, both phones have fingerprint scanners, but the A50 sports a more modern in-display fingerprint scanner. Now, here is where I kind of got disappointed with the A50. So if you're not up to speed with how optical fingerprint scanners work, is that you place your finger on the scanner shines a beam of light onto your finger and takes a 2D image of your fingerprint and then maps your fingerprint to unlock your phone. Now, the whole idea and the whole contraption is very futuristic, but it is slow on the A50. This can be seen in the speeds taken to register fingerprints on the traditional scanner on the A30 and in the in-display fingerprint scanner on the A50, and also how fast they unlock the phone. Even after removing the unlocking animations on the A50, it didn't quite help speed up the unlocking process, and half the time it will be a miss instead of a hit, unlike in the A30 where you just know where the fingerprint scanner is and you place it there and it unlocks immediately. Now, I'd like to think that Samsung can fix this with future software updates to enhance both speed and accuracy, but for now the optical fingerprint scanner doesn't look quite reliable or convenient. Now, also, just to mention, both phones do have 2D facial recognition, but as we saw in the previous video, it's not as safe as the fingerprint scanner. So we're going to try and cheat the face recognition on here. This is Innocent's nice mug over here, and let's try this. Oh my god! Oh no! Oh! It didn't even wait. Oh my god, let's try that again. Oh my god. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Face recognition isn't quite as safe as your fingerprint scanner. Let's just do with that. I don't think anybody can hack that. Now, in terms of speakers, both phones have a mono bottom firing speaker, and I personally pick the A30 over the A50 because sound on the A30 doesn't start screeching at maximum volumes as compared to the Samsung Galaxy A50. Yeah. Now, jumping onto the software end, both phones do ship with Android 9 Pie straight out of the box, and both also have Samsung One UI running on top of Android. This means that the accessibility and reachability of icons and settings is significantly easy, and the interface feels less cluttered. Both phones also come with Samsung's Bixby Assistant, and the only difference is you can map the Bixby Assistant to the power button on the Galaxy A50, and you can't do that on the A30. That means that on the A50, if you want to access your power options, you'll have to use the shortcut bar. You also get a dark mode built into both phones and navigation gestures, which is a nice addition. Now let's move to the cameras. This is where the major differences start to show up. Now, the Samsung Galaxy A50 has a triple lens camera setup at the back, a 5 megapixel f2.2 depth sensor for your portrait shots, a 25 megapixel f1.7 main camera, and an 8 megapixel f2.2 ultra wide lens. The A30 has a 5 megapixel f2.2 ultra wide lens and the 16 megapixel f1.7 main camera. You'll notice that photos on both phones have pleasing colors, and the difference between shots taken on the A30 and those on the A50 mostly come down to the level of detail. Now, on the video end, both phones max out at 1080p 30 frames per second video recording. I should mention that on both phones you do lack optical image stabilization built into the cameras, but they actually make up for it with electronic image stabilization. Both phones also lack 4K recording capability, and that comes as a shock, especially on the pricier Samsung A50. On the selfie side, the A50 sports a 25 megapixel f2.0 lens, while the A30 has a 16 megapixel f2.0 lens that lacks a wide angle. Portrait selfies are good with little or no blur spilling into the object in focus. So let's wrap this up with a spec sheet so that you know which one to go for if you want to pick either of these up. Now, I should mention that both phones have a lot of similarities, but here is what differentiates them. Now, on the A30, you'll have to do with either the 64GB and the 4GB RAM model, or go for the 32GB and 3GB of RAM model. You also get an Exynos 7904 chipset on the A30 and a dual 16 and 5 megapixel rear camera. You also get a 16 megapixel selfie camera and a rear mounted fingerprint scanner. Now, the A50 comes in two variants also. You can either go for the 128GB and 6GB of RAM model, or go for the 64GB and 4GB of RAM model. The A50 comes with the Exynos 9610 chipset, which is a higher performance chipset than the one on the A30, and a triple rear camera setup, a 25 megapixel camera on the front, and an in-display fingerprint scanner. Now, for the verdict, I'd say go for the Samsung A30 if you're in the market for a simple, all-in-one, basic but not so basic package. If you want something with more cameras, more storage space, more RAM, a faster chip, and a different, more modern fingerprint scanner, I'd say go for the bigger brother, the Samsung Galaxy A50. So that's it for today, guys. Just to mention also, we are edging closer to 1,000 subscribers, so if you've not subscribed to the channel, please do so and tap that notification bell so you don't miss the next upload. Feel free to drop a comment right below that like button and share this video with your friends, and let me see you in the next one. Peace.